Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 19th day of February 2019. Little synchronicity there with the 19s, don't we? But today, numerologically, is a 1, or new beginnings. And being the full moon, it's a day that if you're going to work any magic, you could work magics that bring things to fruition. The full moon represents the mother phase of the goddess, so you know you could do rituals for awakening, magics for clarity, to bring clarity to a situation. Just think illumination, full illumination. If you wanted to do a triple aspect working, you could. Well, she's already gone full, so you can't really do that right now, but you could theoretically do it at any time, really. But she went full this morning, so that was a few hours ago. In the 7 o'clock hour, I think almost 8 o'clock, I think it was 7:50 something. I'm not sure. I put it in the blog post I did yesterday, though, so I just don't remember what it was. Well, I hope everybody had a lovely day yesterday. We got to go on a walk today, which was nice. It was just a little bit too cold. It was in the 20s yesterday morning, so we decided not to do it. It was in the 30s, so we braved the temperatures and out we went. It was pretty good. It's about a 4-mile walk, so it's not it's not just up and back, up and down the street and back. So we're committed, or we should be, one of the two at our age. We used to do 8-mile walks, and then it reduced to about 6. A lot of it just depends on the route that we take. If we walk clear into town over by where the canyon is, there's this. They've taken the canyon that runs through our town, and they've put walking path through it, and there's little trails and whatnot through it. The sewage plant is at one end, and it goes, I think, 8 miles one direction if you do the whole thing. The section we used to do was just a 4-mile section, but if we walked from our house to there and back, it was about 8 miles. But that would take us, close to, when we were doing the 8-9 milers, it would be like 3 hours. It was just too much time. So we decided that, and plus we have to take food, sometimes we get hungry and have to find a bathroom and all that. So it just seemed to be too much. And so now we used to do this route before, and it's nice because most of it's an incline. Almost the whole way is an incline. So you get that extra workout as well. So, but we're in our 60s, so I'd say that's plenty. We don't need to be that obsessed now. So anyhow. Well, if it's your first time here, what I like to do, I like to choose the 13th card. I started out this whole deal just doing 1 card and 1 rune, but it's just not enough. Sometimes I end up drawing 3. Most of the time I end up drawing 3, but sometimes I can get enough, if it really hits me. If I draw a court card, I will draw another one, unless it's the 3rd card I've drawn, because at that point I've just decided I've pushed my luck too much. But that's what I do. It's just my process. It's not anything you have to do. You don't have to do it that way. But when I need to know something, I really need to know something, I always draw the 13th card. And for me, that's my number. I was born on the 13th, and 13 has always figured prominently in my life, for not because I make it so, it just happens. And so I don't know, I guess that's just why I do it. But anyway, if it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Click subscribe if you haven't. I'd love you to do that. And let's get started. Well, I'm not doing very well today, am I? I about dropped it like 3 different times just then. Well, anyhow, I've pulled this one before somewhat recently. It's the 3 of Pentacles. So we're still thinking today about, finances maybe, or just the mundane aspects of life. The moon is in Virgo, so we just may be thinking about, getting together with people or taking care of routine tasks. In this case, what we're doing is these folks have stopped by and they're watching this guy. He's a stonemason and he's plying his trade. They're admiring his work. Maybe they're thinking about hiring him. You see threes throughout: mind, body, spirit alignment. The triplicity, kind of perfect for the full moon, isn't it? Triple goddess and all. But you can see the threes throughout. You can see the three pentacles. You can see 1, 2, 3, and the same with 1, 2, 3. So you've got you've got basically 3 archways there. So you're seeing 3, the triplicity throughout. And this is even progression. It's also felt with this. Let's draw another card. We'll shuffle a little bit. We've had snow and ice lately, so we've been hesitant, to get out and about and walk around. Because you don't want to fall, at our age. So we kind of are hesitant when the weather gets bad to even be out there. We used to go out. It didn't matter what the weather was like. We just went anyway. Rain, snow, it didn't matter. But, you start getting older and you start thinking a little more and thinking, well, because, it used to be in the 20s, it didn't matter. It could even be in the teens and it didn't matter. We still went. We just bundled up more and went out. Not anymore. Let's do another card. Well, I think we're continuing the positive feel here, because here, this is another 4, the 4 of Wands. We've been just a whole run on 4s lately, the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Swords yesterday. Now we have the 4 of Wands. You can see the celebration. Couples gotten married, likely. And you see the 4 poles there, and you see the garlands above. It's a celebration. They're holding their flowers high up in the air. They're happy. It's kind of the foundation of our lives. So again, we're talking this here too, more of the financial foundation, our work, our craftsmanship, how we ply our trade, how we work our craft, maybe in preparation for this. So here we're preparing for the future, maybe. So maybe something's going on in your life that's in preparation for something, for something that's going to increase your security financially. Maybe you're getting married, maybe you're starting a new career, or maybe you're developing that career. You're developing your skills and you're maybe advancing in it, to where you can maybe have a more security, more financial security. Whoops. This is just not a good day for shuffling for me. I don't know what's going on. Let's count 13 before I drop them all. Well, I think that we're going to reorder the cards, aren't we? It's almost like I'm pulling them in, in reverse or going backwards. I start at the or no, in this case, the second card I think is the conclusion of the whole thing. But here we have the 8 of Cups. Basically what this card means, you can kind of see he's going up a slight incline, so there's a little bit of a challenge. So But so what he's walking toward may be somewhat challenging and maybe a little bit of unknown, but he's letting go of emotions that don't serve him anymore. So maybe he let go of some fear, and maybe he decided to engage in a new trade or start something new in his life. And it's always risky to do that, isn't it? Because you don't know, it might not work out, but it also might work out. So, you don't want to not try, do you? So in the Eight of Cups, what he's doing is he's leaving. Let's go this way. He's leaving. He's going to embark on something new. And in this case, it's a new trade and something that's going to give him a little more financial security that maybe will then portend this. So maybe some fear was holding us back, and maybe it's not holding us back anymore. And or maybe we're just at the moment of making that decision of I'm going to let go of this now. This is keeping me from achieving my goals. It's keeping me from achieving, whatever financial security I might want. And I want to have a life. I want to have some success. I want to be able to take care of myself, and maybe build a life with someone else and have a family. And sometimes though that takes letting go of fear, over change, over trying something new. And so maybe you've experienced that. So now you're starting to reap the rewards. Or maybe this is just letting you know that, hey, if you let go of the fear, something good is on the horizon. Take that time to build your craft, build your trade, learn your craft. Maybe get into a mentorship or some kind of a trade school or something, whatever it is, whether it's university or it's more focused on a trade type of situation. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter as long as you're building something for the future. You can't just sit and wait for it all to happen. Sometimes you got to get in there and do it as well. So maybe this is just letting you know that if you let go of fear, all kinds of things can happen for you. And, that's positive. That can build towards security and a wonderful life, building your legacy and all of that. But sometimes you just got to let go of the fear of the unknown. Our emotions can, and when you get head and heart not in balance, you've got reason going, but wait, you do possess the skills, or you possess at least the will to do this. So why wouldn't you explore new possibilities and new endeavors? You never know what can happen. It's why a lot of people at my age, they decide to reinvent themselves. Retirement, okay, well, that's fine, but maybe retirement just opens you up to something new, and maybe life doesn't end, when you turn 60 or 65. Well, here we have Manaz, which is the 20th rune of the Elder Futhark. So it's a two energy, so duality, polarity. You can see Vunyo, the P. Vunyo is shaped like the letter P. You can see that forward and reverse. You can see the X in the middle, which is Gebo. But you can see the balanced energy exchange. This is about mankind, humanity, and how we interrelate. I don't know why I try to put those two words together all the time, but I do. It's an earth element rune. But yeah, it's about the rational mind. It's about the intellect, success. But it's the blending. That's what I was trying to come up with here of what I wrote down. It's the synthesizing of intuition with rationality. So, you're talking about, usually intuition is comes mostly from your heart, but basically you're talking about blending the two together in joy and coming together in joy and fellowship with other people, about living life to the fullest. And that's really what we're talking about here, letting go of fear and taking that leap. It's about career potential, so social integration. So again, being an earth element rune, you're still dealing, again, with this choice to engage in something new, aren't you? With this being the outcome, something positive in the as the outcome. And you see a progression there, the 3 to the 4. If you put this as a 2 instead of the 20, you could reduce it to 2 and put that there. But really what the catalyst of it all was, you would probably put there and then put this first. So the catalyst was, okay, my emotions are getting in the way of things. I need to give up on the fear. I need to come together with others. And I need to know that that's where my focus needs to be instead of a solitary existence and letting my emotions prevent me from, interacting with other people and engaging with others. I then decide I'm going to do that. And you can see what happens. Suddenly, people start noticing what you're doing. Maybe they come and offer you another position. So you're growing your skills with the ultimate outcome. Really, the manifestation of Menes. Don't they look alike? I mean, realistically, the Four of Wands is the representation of Menes. Well, how about that? I love it when things like that happen, when you can really start to tell a story, but then to have the Four of Wands actually be a visual representation, not just visual, but interpretation-wise, a representation of Menes. Wow. I mean, it's even here, isn't it? You can see the shape there as well. Similarly, I know you kind of have to stretch it, but you can use your imagination and see it. All it took was for him to decide, you know what? I need to change how I feel about things. I need to come out of the hinterlands and come into life and try to create something new. And when you do that and you engage with others, lots of great things can happen. So anyhow, so if that's happening for you today, that's really cool. Maybe this is just a process you've been thinking about, some changes you want to make in your life. But just know that take that leap of faith, move past the fear and let that go away. Just reject it and say, you know what, I have something to offer the world. Even if it's just my small little world around me, I have something to offer and I'm going to go do that. So that's cool. Anyhow, well, I guess that does it for today. That's really cool. I really like this. I've been writing down I'm keeping track of what all of them are. I'm going to start doing that, and I'm just going to start seeing how much actually starts to come to fruition. So if you see any of this that actually impacts your life, and you're like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, or whatever, put it in the comments, and maybe we can talk about it. So anyhow, well, this is very cool. So, okay, I guess I will see you tomorrow. Thanks again so much for stopping by, and be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.